be leaking slightly.
What a moron.
You sank my limousine! I've lost one of my nose tampons!
This is not a particularly cultural thing to do.
I don't like the smell of tyre smoke in the evening. Oi! Get back in!
James, it's falling! Right out of the way! Hurry up! Get a bloody move on! Go.
I shall be victorious.
Yes! This is just brilliant. It's unbelievable. Let's do this.
Hello, that was the Hothouse Flowers, and now look.
Here we go!
Coming up now is a small montage of what you can expect over the next 12 weeks.
Get a bloody move on.
Well, whatever, we decided to meet up with...
Here we go! Drive carefully. Hello.
Oh, my God.
The location we chose for this titanic duel was Portugal. Specifically, the international racetrack of the Algarve. When we arrived, mechanics from Porsche and McLaren pounced on...
Hurry up! Straight away, I can tell you that this doesn't have the brutality or the savagery of the McLaren. Because it has rear-wheel steering and four-wheel drive, it feels planted, it feels secure and safe. And that gives you the confidence to play about. Oh, my God. Genuinely incredible. Oh, dearie me. My God!
This is brilliant.
Straight away, I can tell you that this doesn't have the brutality or the savagery of the McLaren. Because it has rear-wheel steering and four-wheel drive, it feels planted, it feels secure and safe. And that gives you the confidence to play about. Oh, good. I think this is very good news.
This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Jesus. Right out of the way.
This is frightening. That's what it is.
Go, go, go.
Oh, you mad, bad, naughty car!
This is frightening. That's what it is.
Oh, you mad, bad, naughty car!
Jesus. This recalibrates your mind.
Let's do this.
Well,
This is rubbish.
I was just thinking exactly the same about this.
Were you?
This was boring me to death. It was like being... Hurry up!
I am here because, gentlemen, I have in the back of that lorry something that will make your McLaren and your Porsche look like lumps of yesteryear.
Get out of the way.
Or indeed any sort of thing. Gave me a fizz like the Ferrari, the Ferrari. This, I believe, will absolutely mince the other two. Oh, man!
James was obviously talking nonsense. But there's no getting around the fact that these three...
Let's do this.
What we have here, then,
Get a bloody move on.
Hypercar Holy Trinity.
Get off! Thank you.
Try that on.
Easy.
No. There you go.
that's interesting. Oh, I shouldn't feel so good, but it does.
We could have played out.
Here we go!
Before we ended up in a £3 million crash, we decided to start the tests to see which of the cars was best.
Let's do this. Let's make the first test a drag race using electrical power only.
Good idea.
No, it isn't a good idea.
Why not?
Because you can't drive the Ferrari on electrical power only.
No.
No, but of course you can't, because it's a Kerr system like a Formula One car. It's got a V12 engine and an electric motor, but they're all integrated. They work together all of the time. You can't separate them.
You should have thought about that, shouldn't you?
Bad planning.
With
Here we go!
Instead of revving the petrol engines, we shut them down.
Three, two, one, go!
Who won that? It was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's not important though, is it?
Is it not?
No, it's just not relevant.
Right, right. In a drag race, it's irrelevant which car gets there first.
Yeah, yours is the better milk float.
Back in the pits, Hammond had an idea for the next test.
We've got to drive to the hotel, yeah, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's about an hour away, and it gives us a chance to see what they're like on the road.
That's a good point.
Real world.
That is a good point.
I can't do that. I can't drive the Ferrari on the road.
Why?
Well, it's not registered.
It is, got number plates.
No, that's just pretend number plates. If they register it, it becomes second-hand and they have to pay the tax. That's why it came in a lorry.
So you can't drive it on the road either?
Nobody can drive it. It's not road legal yet.
Oh, no.
Mate, that's...
Oh, that is
'cause
such a shame.
It's an hour of...
Oh, sorry, James. That's really a rotten bit of luck, because you've come a long way from Italy.
Soon, Richard and I were enjoying the world's best ever commute.
We're off. Oh my God. Right, we're all set. Oh yeah.
Yes! How clever is that?
Sorry, sir. on, come on, come on.
Go on in. Shut up.
Oh, bloody hell. You're all right. You're all right in Italian. Oh, God.
Hurry up! We've got to tell everyone about our track. Yes, we have one.
Get a bloody move on.
It even looks dangerous on a map, because as you can see, it's the exact same shape as the Ebola virus. Right.
Get out of the way.
Take it away!
First up, it's the Isn't Straight, so called because it isn't straight. After the second right on the Isn't Straight, we're into Your Name Here corner. If you make a mistake, there's no runoff area, it's just woods. We've called this section Old Lady's House because it's right next to a house where an old lady lives. Get this 90 left right or you'll crash into a cage full of electricity. And you'll need to get the final 90 left right as well or you'll run into a field of sheep. So, trees, animals, a house, electricity.
Take it away!
First up, it's the Isn't Straight, so called because it isn't straight. After the second right on the Isn't Straight, we're into Your Name Here corner. If you make a mistake, there's no runoff area, it's just woods. We've called this section Old Lady's House because it's right next to a house where an old lady lives. Get this 90 left right or you'll crash into a cage full of electricity. And you'll need to get the final 90 left right as well or you'll run into a field of sheep. So, trees, animals, a house, electricity, and because it's in England, usually quite a lot of moisture.
Get a bloody move on.
Let's do this.
This isn't as fast in a straight line as an M3, but everywhere else, it is better. Oh, less heavy, less cumbersome.
They got back onto the Isn't and unleashed 365 rampaging horsepower from the turbocharged 3-litre straight 6. Drive fast. designed to trip cars up.
This isn't as fast in a straight line as an M3, but everywhere else, it is better. Less heavy, less cumbersome.
They got back onto the isn't and unleashed 365 rampaging horsepowers from the turbocharged 3-litre straight six.
Oh no! Oh God, that looks tricky. Right, onto the straight. It's incredible!
This track was designed to trip cars up. There are fast corners, slow corners, drifty corners, and bumps.
Hurry up!
Test at the Ebola-drome, we'll do a timed lap. And to make sure it's a completely level playing field, they will all be driven by the same racing driver. Clever. It gave it some thought.
How clever is that? Now, thing is, Amazon, okay, insisted that the racing driver in question should be from this side of the pond. So we went to something called NASCAR, and we found one, and we shipped him to England, and then we introduced him to the complicated procedure which involves turning right. He's called Mike Skinner, but we know him simply as the American. Right, there he is, looking utterly bewildered.
A skitter of a wheel spin, and immediately he's onto the isn't straight. He's through the final corner on the isn't straight. Into your name here. Okay, coming up to Old Lady's house. No turbo lag at all as he hammers down the bumpy back straight towards substation. One more 90 left to go through Field of Sheep.
The American. Right, there he is, looking utterly bewildered.
A skitter of a wheel spin, and immediately he's onto the isn't straight. He's through the final corner on the isn't straight. Into your name here. Okay, coming up to Old Lady's house. No turbo lag at all as he hammers down the bumpy back straight towards substation. One more 90 left to go through Field of Sheep.
He's quick, the left and right. Amazing. Now, to make sure that the M2 wasn't on sort of the lap board all by itself, we got the American to put some other benchmark cars. Well, we call them benchmark cars. He calls them communist. Around the track to see what's what. There they all are. Look. Now it's time to see where the M2 goes on that board. Let's have a look. Let's put it on. Oh.
Wow!
It's
I think it's the best M car they've ever made.
Get out of the way.
This week we are trying to find out which of the new breed of hybrid hypercars is the best.
Yes.
Here we go!
We began by lining up the 3 most exciting cars.
Let's do this.
Three, two, one. Irrelevant.
With that sorted, it was time to bring in a racing driver to see which of...
Three, two, one.
With that sorted, it was time to bring in a racing driver to see...
Three, two, one.
With that sorted, it was time to bring in a racing driver to see which of our cars could do the fastest lap. Our resident American said...
Here we go!
Finished, we were interested to hear his professional opinion.
La McLaren,
Get a bloody move on.
So we moved on to the big event. The timed laps.
Get out of the way.
Look how good it looks there.
Thank you very much, James. You want to go and get a cup of tea?
Well, we've warmed the track.
Next, it was the turn of the Porsche 918.
How much faster will it go because of the stripes, do you think?
Much.
Finally, it was the turn of the psycho killer, the trickiest, the edgiest of the three. But I was so confident it'd win, I was prepared to take a massive gamble. If the McLaren isn't the fastest, you two can knock my house down.
What?
Knock it down.
What, your house?
Yeah, and I mean that. That's how confident I am that that will be the fastest.
That's you know we will do that.
Yep.
It's a serious bet.
Yeah.
Fine.
If that's not the fastest, we can knock your house down.
Yep. You know where it is. You've both been.
Yeah, I'd love to knock it down.
Here we go. A lot riding on this. With that, back to the tent.
Hurry up!
So, let's put the scoreboard up and let's begin with the Ferrari, I believe. Let's see what it did it in, please. 154.4. We don't know if that's any good, do we? But
Well, let's move on and do the Porsche next. Let's have a look. What did the Porsche do it in? And it didn't mince it. It was slower than the Porsche. I told you, it's just a melon ball. It's slower than my car, which was faster than your car.
yeah, it's 0.2 of a second and it looks better.
Yeah, it did. In my mirror, where it belongs, getting smaller. It's a melon ball and it lost.
Hammond,
What?
calm down.
All right.
Because now we must bring up the time that really matters.
Yeah.
The one where a lot's at stake. The McLaren, the McLaren P1.
Are you nervous?
No.
Sure.
No.
A little bit?
No, I'm not nervous.
Why be nervous? Because you could get like a shopping trolley and keep all your things in it, move around, make some new friends under a bridge somewhere.
Hammond.
I'd say sell your body. Don't do that.
Be quiet. Let's bring up the time of the P1. Here we go.
Oh, God.
Where is it?
That is funny. Because you said the fastest, but it's not the fastest. It's the slowest.
Yeah. And on that terrible disappointment, I'm afraid it's time to end. Thank you all very much for coming. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week in Johannesburg. Goodbye! Are we ready, gentlemen?
On